Greetings and Happy New Year to the class of 2021. This is Mrs. Gaspari. I just wanted to check in with you about your prep works for quarter 3, so you'll know what you should be working on in advisory this quarter. Your advisory teacher will be giving you a paper schedule that looks like the one on the screen here. So take a look at that and look first at the green math blocks and the blue reading blocks. That's what you're going to get started with in this quarter. So to finish your math block, which is problem solving, you're going to need to do the skills assessment, percentages, conversions, problem solving, and the skill review. And to finish the reading block, which is actually writing strategy, which sounds funny, but writing and reading are both parts of the language assessment on the SAT. So you need to practice both. You need to finish the skills assessment, navigating writing passages, developing ideas, use of language, and the skill review. You'll notice that you have 6 weeks to finish both the math and the reading block for the first part of the quarter. So that means by February 15th, you should have the problem solving block finished and the writing strategy block finished. You need to make sure that you use your class time wisely in advisory because there are a lot of short weeks this quarter and you won't have necessarily 4 days every week to work on this. So we tried to give you more time to get it done, but you also have to use your time wisely to make sure you get it finished. After you finish those blocks, if you finish early, you're more than welcome to move on to the next section and get a head start. Otherwise, plan on switching to advanced math and essay and writing on February 18th. So some of you are probably wondering why we're doing this prep works, and it's not to torture you or annoy you, I promise. And so I'd want to give you just like a little bit of insight so you'll see what's coming up in the not too distant future for all of you. You know, hopefully, that you have to take the SAT or ACT for the majority of colleges, and the better the school, the higher the score you have to get in. So our purpose in having you work on PrepWorks now is to give you an advantage and a head start on taking those assessments. And so just so you have a little bit of an idea of what to expect, take a look at this chart. Sorry, it's a little bit fuzzy because it's from a photocopy, but you're working on PSAT, so that's sort of to give you an indication of what your SAT score might be. And so take a look. These are all scores for all the universities in Florida. And this row right here is the one that shows you the middle 50% SAT score for the students who were accepted at these schools in 2018. So that's current college freshmen. These are the scores that they got to get into these schools. So this one's pretty clear and easy to look at. So take a look at FIU right here, almost to the middle, and you'll see the score right here, which is 1280. So this means that if you look at this row, if you look at the label, it says the middle 50% of students had this score of 1280. So that means 25% of the students had a lower score and 25% of the students had a higher score. That sort of average for the middle, the mid 50%, is a 1280. If you move over to the right a little bit, so to the middle, to FSU, you'll see the score is higher. So all the way up to a 1400 for that middle 50%. And then for UF, it's a 1450. So those bigger schools are more competitive and you have to have a higher score to be able to get in. So I'm not showing you these numbers to scare you, but hopefully to encourage you, because you will be competing with other students from around the country who are taking the same tests. So the more you practice and the more advantage you have, the better off you'll be in trying to get into these schools, and you'll be more competitive with your standardized test score. And just for kicks, I want to show you, in case you're curious, for the Ivy League schools, these scores, the middle 50% is between these ranges, so it's in between here. So at least 25% of the students going to Yale and Harvard had a perfect score on the SAT, and the bottom 25% are here at a 1490 and a 1470. So that means the bottom 25% at Ivy League schools are higher than that mid 50% at, say, those big Florida schools. So just in case you were wondering, that's what Ivy League test scores look like. And like I said, better the school, the higher the score they're looking for you to get in. So if you need to like sort of assess your hopes and dreams for what you're going to do after high school, and make sure the work you're doing now as a sophomore is going to prepare you for that future. Okay? And I also just want to show you this because we're not just making it up. These are some statistics that come from the College Board, which is the organization that produces the SAT. And they did some research last year and found that there's actual data to show that doing extra practice for the test does help you increase your score. So this is based on 250,000 students in the class of 2017 who took the SAT. And of those students, 1,600 students saw gains of 200 points or more from one time taking the test to the next because they did extra outside practice. And it has to be, though, it can't just be, you know, oh, I did 5 minutes of practice and now I'm going to get, you know, a 1,600. You have to put in the time. So at least 20 hours of practice is what's required for that kind of score gain. So you'll notice if you look at the chart, your score can go up between times you take the test, simply because you might have learned something new in school between the first time and the second time, or you know, you just had a better testing day. Anything is possible, but to intentionally increase your score, you do need to do some sort of outside practice. And we're trying to provide that for you through PrepWorks. So you've already had 20 hours of practice in the first semester if you've done all your PrepWorks and used your time wisely. And so by the end of the year, you'll have another 20. So your score could, you know, has the potential to really improve. And just remember that I know even though you don't probably like doing PrepWorks all the time or ever, and it annoys you and you don't want to do it, just think that every minute that you spend working on PrepWorks, you are investing in yourself and what you want to accomplish for the future. So keep that in mind, keep working on your PrepWorks, and please, please, please ask for help if you are stuck somewhere. Please let your advisory teacher know if you're struggling. There are National Honor Society tutors available to you after school on Wednesdays and Thursdays until 3:30. And there's also a tutoring service offered by PrepWorks online on Monday nights from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, totally free. If you log into PrepWorks, and the little menu that's up under your name, you'll see an option that says virtual office hours. Just click on that between 7 and 9 on Monday evenings, and someone will be on there live to help you with whatever problem you're stuck on. So please, please, please don't just sit there being stuck. Let someone know you need help and work on it and learn that skill so that you can A, move on, and B, have that knowledge moving forward for when you take the test. So again, if you have any questions, you can always see me in the Learning Commons or talk to your advisory teacher. But please, please, please use this opportunity to practice and improve your score for the future. Thank you. Have a great semester, and I will check back in with you again in the fourth quarter.